Hello, this is Rachel Livinall. This season, we're going to be diving into other cities all around the state of California, hearing young people's stories on all topics concerning the pandemic and youth. Today, we travel to the Bay Area and meet two girls. One who has lived through the pandemic as a senior in 2020, and one who is living it now. You're listening to COVID-18, a podcast that explores young people's experiences during the pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I look at this room and I'm just sick of it. It makes me disgusted.
It's been over a year since the pandemic shocked our world, but Mk Munoz, a now freshman in college, has been growing tired of being stuck in a room all day, every day.
Yeah, it's right when I get done with schoolwork or meetings, I'm just okay, I'm taking a walk or I'm grabbing my bike because I can't be here right now.
This isn't new. Mk was familiar with it back in March of 2020 when her entire senior year, like many others, was shut down, never to be seen again.
But now it's 2021 and Mikayla Wong, now a senior in high school, has had somewhat of a different experience when it comes to her life at home.
I would definitely describe my home during school is actually pretty quiet. My grandma lives with me, so it's usually at home is me, my sister, and my grandma. And my grandma brings me snacks all the time, so I guess that's a plus. But it's also kind of distracting if she's watching a show in the other room and you can kind of hear it. So
despite those wind gusts of over 100 miles an hour.
Both girls have struggled with motivation, something very common in social distance learning.
At the beginning of quarantine, I felt like I definitely lost out on so much, academically, and it felt really difficult for me to get in the rhythm of things, fit into a schedule, because no teachers were putting in any effort to teach us anything for the last couple of months. And now that we are on Zoom, we have Zoom every day, we go into classes, it's important for us to be in attendance. I think it's definitely helped, but I still feel like I've missed out this whole year of academics, and kind of worries me for college next year.
Mikayla was accepted into UC Berkeley, a school she hadn't imagined herself going to. She explains what went into her decision.
I actually just made a decision a couple days ago on where I'm going to go, but it was really difficult to apply because we didn't have that chance to even go visit any schools, visit any campuses. So I was kind of applying blindly, if that makes sense. When there was that question, why do you want to attend our school? I was oh, I don't really know. I want to go because it's such a good school, but I don't know what the campus is like or what student life is even like. Even though we do have these virtual meetings, it's still difficult to gauge without even physically stepping foot on the campus.
Mk had a different experience, already knowing that she wanted to go to City College of San Francisco, her local junior college. But even then, it wasn't easy to understand how to register, so she asked for help.
I'm lucky that I've had some family members who have attended City College in the past, so they kind of knew this setup for registration and things like that. So getting started, I made a few mistakes, but I finally got it sorted away and was up and doing it.
Lucky for her, it worked out. But even though there was a learning curve, she plans on attending in the fall. What are colleges doing in the fall?
I think that they're gonna have some classes be in person. I think majority are still going to be online, but I think there's going to be a select few to do in person.
Since she's getting the vaccine, she definitely plans on taking something in person. But the world has changed, her plan has too.
So I feel I would like to take at least one class in person just to feel that online environment. But I do sort of like online just on the basis of I don't have to spend money on transportation. Because I live right by BART, and then I would take BART to City College right there. So, I'm saving a lot of money right now by not having to go there. So I think that's kind of how I feel about it. But I'd like to have one just to, try to meet people and just get out every now and again and feel like I'm actually a student in a classroom.
As for Mikayla, her high school recently changed things up following the release of the vaccines.
A couple of weeks ago, actually, I think a week before spring break, they let freshmen go onto campus just so that they can get a feel of it, and before all of the upperclassmen went in. And now we're doing hybrid, so you can either opt in to go, or I think it's 2 days a week for some people.
She made her choice based on her safety.
I opted not to go just because I didn't feel very safe. Like, I knew that a lot of people that would be going there weren't vaccinated, and I don't think I was ready for that yet.
UC Berkeley hasn't come out with any information, which leads Mikayla into making her opinions all under hearsay and possibilities. She shares.
Since I have been vaccinated already, I do want to go to in-person classes in the fall. However, I am a little bit worried about people who may not choose to get vaccinated. I have heard that Berkeley will try their best to offer vaccines for those who don't have access to them, but it's definitely still up in the air whether or not the vaccines will be mandatory and how testing would work.
It truly is up in the air. With the vaccine coming out and new shots being administered every day, the pandemic seems to be shifting into a different stage. The future for school is unknown, but hopefully no matter what, every student gets the education they've always expected.
Next week, we hit Merced. Your host takes the mic with a special story about the struggles of social distance learning, especially when learning online isn't the only struggle. This is a production of Youth Leadership Institute. I'm your host, Rachel Livenall.